The first meeting since last year for the Advisory Council yesterday, January 12th. Acting Governor Mark Capes explains more.
Today, at our first meeting, we've had a brief discussion to start with about the Consultative Forum discussion yesterday, which I am sure, like you, a lot of people enjoyed and found stimulating and raised a number of new issues, perhaps. After that, we looked at well, we just completed actually a discussion about the road traffic bill amendment, and that is connected with some of the issues that you'll be aware of involving taxi drivers and public service vehicles, and we'll be continuing with that shortly.
Acting Governor Capes said the Crown Land Advisor John Llewellyn presented the latest version of the Crown Land Policy draft to the Council. He then welcomed questions from the media. Capes answered a question on the time frame for the right sizing of the civil service.
The right sizing exercise is going to be an exercise that's going to be carried out over a couple of years. It's not something you can do suddenly. We do have now with us Stephen Catchpole, who's tasked with taking forward that work along with colleagues in the public service. He started his work, and so we'll now begin to see, as he begins to sketch out his work plan, how we're going to take that forward. But it's not something you can say there's going to be a set date next year or whenever that's going to be started or finished. I mean, it's now started. It's a long exercise that's got to be done carefully with sensitivity, and we've got to get it right.
Expression host Robert Hall questioned Mark Capes on TCIG's decision on a foreign commissioner and deputy of police.
I'm tempted to ask, though, whether the governor's office isn't a bit embarrassed that at this day and time, with an absence of succession planning, that every time a commissioner retires, we have to revert to going outside or somewhere along the lines. You can have someone groomed, prepared, trained to succeed as a commissioner of police. Isn't that embarrassing?
I wouldn't say it's embarrassing, but it's a fair point to make. But what I would say is that part of the objective of this, of having the taking up the Canadian offer of assistance, is that gives us time, recognising that both the Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner are approaching retirement fairly soon. The two senior positions need to be filled. By bringing in the Canadians for a set period, that allows us to do exactly what you're suggesting, Robert, is to prepare officers to take those positions after we've had an interim period with the Canadians.
We'll have more on this Advisory Council meeting in a subsequent newscast.